and what you're saying is that that empowerment also brings compassion, because I think when we understand that that 4-year-old is doing this or that this is what's going on with them, we understand, and from an adult brain we have compassion, and then we ultimately have kindness for them as well, and patience with them. I feel like my whole library is now going to fill up with many of your books, with all the ones that you mentioned. I will put links on this for anyone who's joined us, and we'll put this out to all our subscribers as well. And I just can't thank you enough for taking the time. I really appreciate it.
Oh, pleasure.
Dr. Dan Siegel, have a wonderful day.
Excellent. Good.
Thanks ever so
Great,
much.
great to connect.
Bye now. Bye for now. Bye. He was an absolute inspiration, and just incredibly insightful. Everything that he said, everything that he taught us, everything that he shared. You know, I'm in awe. I'm in absolute awe. And yes, I can't wait to get my hands on a few more of his books.
I wanted to share with you the technique that I used with my goddaughter, which I mentioned in one of the earlier parts of this interview with Dr. Dan Siegel. I just actually started reading The Whole Brain Child. And if I explain the scenario for you, it gives evidence to how these techniques work, how this mindful presence works. Now, I was not in my own home. I was in the place where my goddaughter lives. Her mum was making dinner and extremely busy, as people generally are at dinner time. And she was asking for something, and she was her mum was trying to be very patient with her and asking her what she wanted. And she kept repeating herself, and her mum, trying to do the dinner, was trying to listen to her and give her answers. And my goddaughter was 4 and getting increasingly frustrated. So I could see that it was going to erupt. So I led her gently through to the living room, asked her to join me, and she sat on the sofa, just about ready to erupt. And I just, as he said, practiced that mindful presence and just noticing my breath, trying to stay calm and not try and fix things, but just asked her, what is it what is it you're trying to say? And she repeated what it was that she was trying to say. And I repeated that back to her phrase. And then I added in a little bit of the emotion and said, I wonder if you're feeling quite frustrated or upset or annoyed. And she just kind of nodded her head. And I just said, that must be really difficult when you've got something that you want and you're trying to express it, and people around you can't hear you, understand you. And she nodded again. And I said, yeah, that would make me feel that way too. So can I help you? And she just said, no, it's okay now. And she absolutely had calmed down at this point. And what I saw in front of me was a situation where this little girl was she was trying to get something, as children do. She was asking for something or wanting something. And it was just a difficult time in order to support her. And she was just frustrated. And instead of it just manifesting into this kind of meltdown, just those few moments, and it was no more than maybe a minute maximum, 30 seconds of helping her identify maybe a few words that she might be feeling, repeating back to her the situation, what had happened as well. So the logical, factual part of it, what she was trying to say, and identifying the feeling, and then going back to that logical part saying, okay, so this is what you were asking for, this is what you need. And by then it was over. She didn't need it. And this is one of the things that Dan Siegel talks about in his book, where children have experiences all the time and they need to process that experience with the whole brain. So they have the logical, kind of rational aspect of it, and then there's the emotional, more creative aspect to it. And if a child only is led to process it with the logical part, then the emotional part doesn't get the chance to integrate into it. And the same as vice versa. If it's only the emotional part, then the rational part doesn't get to integrate into it. And basically it's about helping that child process it with both sides of their brain. So I hope that small example demonstrates just, that this is something I've talked about a lot in all the times I've been teaching people about meditation and mindfulness, and how we can be mindfully present with our children in order to help them express with both sides of their brain and help us help them as well.